A verse that has sort of evolved from the Rocky Mountain work and witness teams is Proverbs 3:6. And that is, in all of your ways acknowledge Him and He will make your paths straight. And the reason we chose that verse is that there's still places out in this region where you can actually see the Conestoga wagon tracks from the 1800s. And paths have been an important part of this area for a long time. And I think what we wanted to show was that if you follow the right path and give your life to God, that He will be there for you, and that's what life is all about. In a partnership, we usually enter into a formal agreement with a state or a country and do work in the entire state or country. In a work and witness team, it's more project driven. In other words, we just respond where a need arises. Much of what we have done so far has been construction. We have built 2 churches, one in Wyoming and one in Montana. Both of these were in small communities, growing churches, but limited in their resources.
In Lewistown, Montana, we're in a rural area, and economics dictate that we can't really take on a large debt load or encumbrance. And so our building has been designed in such a way that the resources to build the building are available, but the labor is not. And so without the volunteers, we would never be able to afford to build the facility that we need to minister in this community.
Of course, the number one thing that we encourage our volunteers is just to witness, and lead people to Christ. Construction is just secondary to that. The reason that the number of volunteers have came, is because of the prayer that was the prayer walks and the prayer rides across Wyoming, and it's spread out into Montana even now, so it's exciting to be part of that.
Okay, population's 115 people. We're a ranching community. Probably 50% of the church is actually ranchers. Ranches here are big. They're not small ranches. If you have a 7,000-acre ranch, it's a small ranch. A lot of ranches in Wyoming are 20,000 acres. It's real common. It takes a lot of ground to have cattle here. We are in north central Wyoming. We really felt God wanted us to build a church. We had no money, anything in a building fund. And God just started putting it together using the North Carolina people. In a community this size, just because of the size, you know everybody. And you know their needs. They've come to trust us as a church. We're going to minister to anybody. I don't care whether they come to church here or not. We're going to reach out to them. It's a part of the ministry here, whatever the need is.
We are on the top of Casper Mountain at a campground called Mountaintop Baptist Assembly. The camp is the Wyoming Southern Baptist State Camp, and it is here so that basically the children and adults and teenagers of Wyoming have a place to come through the Southern Baptist Convention to do their activities.
We're trying to branch out in our mission work. We've been looking for homeland projects that would fit the talent we have in our church, trying to create a wider range of missionaries in our church.
One of the reasons that we use volunteers from North Carolina and even within Wyoming or other areas is because we just do not have the income base that many of the other states have. And so we try to keep the cost here very low so that families can send their children, especially if they have multiple children to send. But we can't do that if we have to hire people. So we have to have the volunteers come in to staff it so that we can keep the cost low for the kids to come in. This is the first year that we have partnered with North Carolina here at the camp. In fact, I've had several teams say that they would love to come back next year, and I have encouraged them. Would love for them to.
I'm excited because God is beginning to move in this community. God has been always working in this community, but now it has become a visible work that God is doing. He's beginning to stir the hearts of the people. He's beginning to stir the people themselves and the lost people. And I'm excited to see our church and other churches in this community get excited by what the mission team is doing. The main project that the North Carolina mission team will be working on will be a tremendous help is at the community center. They're going to be refurbishing the kitchen from stem to stern. They'll be over at the Senior Citizen Center, painting over there. They'll also be at the city park refurbishing the gazebo, the log gazebo. So those will be the projects they'll be working on. You looking forward to school?
Yeah.
Yeah. The community is extremely receptive of that and excited. They're really excited to have the teams come in. They couldn't believe that a group of people would come in and work for free. The other churches in the community, the other denominations are excited, and they're also volunteering to come in to help. So it's uniting brothers and sisters in Christ because of the North Carolina mission team's obedience to God.
Volunteers are absolutely critical to the spirit of Southern Baptist work in Montana and grabbing hold of that whole spirit of serving others. And so our people are getting a real experience, a real lesson, if you will, in what true volunteerism is.
I do love this camp. This camp has made a big difference in a lot of the lives of the kids that I have seen. And I have seen teenagers come in and see other people around about them, and they go, I could be like that. And all of a sudden they start to change their lives, or they have realized that there is a Jesus who loves them, and it has made a difference in their lives. So yes, I do love this camp.
They become your family. I mean, they do. You hurt when they hurt. You celebrate when they celebrate. One of the things that caught people's attention is why would somebody drive 3 days to help us build a church? How, almost all the way across the country. It was a tremendous witness. And I got to share why. Jesus Christ. End of story. That's what it's all about.
One of the things that is unique about the work and witness teams is that we're just responding where God opens a door. And that could be in Wyoming or Montana, anywhere in that region. And also, it's not limited to a time space. As long as we feel like our volunteers are being used of God and He's calling us there, we'll be there to help.